What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Triple Z. I'm your host, Isaiah Henry. The Detroit Pistons are ascending in the Eastern Conference, and their recent play as of late can't be overlooked. The defense has been top tier in the NBA, ranking second in defensive rating at 110 points per 100 possessions. They have excellent defenders both in the front court and in the back court. Ausar Thompson on most nights is guarding the opposing team's best perimeter player. His athleticism gives him an advantage defensively, the strength to wall up against his opponents and beat them to their spots. He has quick instincts, peel switch out of a pick and roll, then a strong closeout to the perimeter. He has active and fast hands. He's everywhere on the court as a help defender at the point of attack, and the verticality he has to rise up and block shots at the rim is ridiculous. Ron Holland gives his all defensively. He plays with such a high motor on the basketball court, hustling for loose ball, chase down blocks, forcing turnovers. Cade Cunningham uses his size and strength to be a plus defender. Isaiah and Jalen Duren. This front court is a powerhouse. In the 76 minutes on the court together, they have a defensive rating of 105 points per 100 possessions. They're a big reason for Detroit ranking third in fewest points allowed in the paint, and I really appreciate how the Pistons are still upholding this defensive identity from last season. Detroit didn't make the biggest offseason moves. They added a really good three-point shooter in Duncan Robinson from the Miami Heat, and they added Caris LeVert to be a good bench scorer. But internal development was going to be the biggest game changer for the Detroit Pistons to prove that last year wasn't lightning in the bottle and they can build on from a winning season. Ausar Thompson has been more of a decision maker with the basketball, which takes pressure off of Cade Cunningham. He gets the Pistons into their half-court set. I've seen plays where Ausar Thompson's at the top of the key and Cade Cunningham's curling off a double stagger screen into the middle of the paint. Thompson would feed Cade Cunningham, and now Cade has so many options once he gets the ball in the middle of the floor. He can rise up for a mid-range shot. He can put it on the deck and attack the cup, or since Cade demands so much attention from the defense, once it collapses around him, then he's kicking it out to shooters on the perimeter. Ausar Thompson has been really good too with recognizing mismatches where it's Jalen Duren. If Jalen Duren has a smaller defender on him, that can be a lob opportunity. That could be a post-up touch for Jalen Duren. That could be a free throw attempt for Jalen Duren, since the smaller defender can't handle the size and massive strength of Jalen Duren. Detroit runs this play where I've seen it multiple times with Ausar Thompson specifically, where he's positioned on either wing and Cade Cunningham is coming off a flare screen set by either Jalen Duren or Isaiah Stewart. Ausar Thompson would give the ball to Cade, and then Cade and one of his bigs, Duren or Stewart, would immediately get into a pick and roll game where Cade finds the pocket pass quickly. Now it's Isaiah Stewart or Jalen Duren rolling to the basket or getting a lob thrown to them or getting to the free throw line because defenders really can't stop them from rolling to the basket. So we've seen Ausar Thompson make strides as a ball handler and an initiator for Detroit's offense. Jalen Duren is playing unbelievable. 19 points, 12 rebounds for the season. He's playing like one of the better centers in the NBA. Two things that have stood out to me about Jalen Duren's improvement as a basketball player is his free throw attempts. He's averaging 6.6 free throws per game and shooting 80% from the free throw line. Opposing teams can't stop him from rolling to the basket or can't keep him out of the air when he's catching these lobs, and they damn sure can't keep him off the glass when he's going up for a defensive rebound or an offensive rebound. So you have to foul Jalen Duren, but then once you foul him, he can knock it down efficiently. For a player his size and how massive he is, you would think he can't shoot free throws, but he's shooting 80% from the free throw line. That's amazing for Jalen Duren. Based on the eye test, he looks really good defensively. Like, he is the anchor for a Detroit Pistons team who's ranked third in defensive rating. He's moving his feet quicker. He's rotating faster to help his teammates from the weak side. Jalen Duren just looks like a better all-around player. And Jalen Duren has also made leaps with his offensive game as well. We're seeing the handles showing off. We're seeing him lead the fast break. I've seen plays where, against the Utah Jazz, he's taking Larry Markkinen off the dribble and then does a turnaround or does a spin move into a follow-away jump shot. And when he gets the ball into the middle of the floor, it's in and out dribbles, attacking the cup. It's power dribbles, playing right through your chest and then dunking it, bringing the rim down with him. Like, Jalen Duren has taken massive strides into his game. And if he continues to play like this, where it's 20 and 12, 20 and 15. He's already put up 22 points and 22 rebounds. He's put up 20 points and 18 rebounds against the Dallas Mavericks in New Mexico. Like, Jalen Duren is playing as a dominant force. If he keeps this up and Detroit remains as the top seed in the Eastern Conference, he's going to be in all-star conversations. And Isaiah Stewart is playing stretch big for Detroit, shooting 39% from three on 3.1 attempts per game. If he can knock that down pretty often, I think that opens up the floor for Cade Cunningham to get downhill and be a dynamic player. Speaking of Cade Cunningham, I mean, the brother is playing at an MVP level. What is he averaging for the season? I think he's averaging like 25, 9, and 5. He's a great all-around player, a two-way player in my opinion. He's taken over in these fourth quarters. He's second in points scored in the fourth quarter behind Giannis Antetokounmpo. That game against the Washington Wizards, Cade Cunningham did everything. Had a slight injury, nothing too crazy, where he fell probably on his tailbone. Cam Whitmore blocked the shot, and then Cade fell hard on his backside. Cade could have left the game and nobody would have faulted him, but as the leader of the Detroit Pistons, he said, no, I'm staying on the court and I'm going to will us to a win. He took like 40 plus shot attempts and finished the game with 40. So it wasn't like the most efficient game, but it was a game where he had to will his team to the finish line. Two favorite plays from that game that involved Cade Cunningham. Ausar gets the ball on a roll, I think, and Ausar rises up looking to attack the rim, and Cade Cunningham just goes up vertically and gets a great defensive stop on Ausar, who's what, 7'1", 7'2"? And then he had the play against Cam Whitmore on the perimeter. Cam Whitmore's trying to get into his bag, get around Cade Cunningham. He walls him up and then gets the steal, and then Detroit's out and running. I mean, Cade is just a great player in this league, and he's been through, you know, the highs and lows with this Detroit team. He was on that team 2 years ago who lost 28 games in a row. He's been through the trenches, and then he's been through, you know, the highs where he's leading the Pistons to a winning season, 44 wins last season, leading them to the playoffs. And this year, he's going to want more from himself and his team. And when it comes to Detroit, I think they could beat any team in the Eastern Conference. Their recent play, like I said, can't be overlooked. They're one of the top seeds in the Eastern Conference. The defense is legit. The culture is inspiring. They have experience. They can beat any team in the Eastern Conference. And there's no powerhouse in the East. Like, I know everybody thinks it's probably going to be the Cavs and the Knicks, but no, those teams have their flaws and weaknesses, as well as Detroit does. But Detroit can knock off those teams anytime, in my personal opinion. And Detroit can really capitalize on a weakened Eastern Conference. The way how they're looking, I think they're 10-2 in the Eastern Conference, the #1 seed. They put their names in contentions to make it out of the Eastern Conference. That's how good Detroit has been. Detroit basketball, baby. Thank you for listening to Triple Z. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below if you think Detroit can be contenders in the Eastern Conference. Is Cade Cunningham a top 10 player in the NBA? And will Jalen Duren play so well that he's going to get an extension in the offseason and potentially make an all-star appearance in this year's All-Star game? I'll see you guys next time. Zzz.